Thanks for joining us for the review of the international races here in Singapore. We've seen an outstanding contest in the KrisFlyer International Sprint and the favourite Aero Velocity winning for Hong Kong. Let's take a look at the lineup now for the Singapore Airlines International Cup.
Military attack back to the rails. Gold Fund going after blazing speed. Military attack the fence. The Gold Fund just in front. Military attack dives on the wire.
Dan Excel has got them. Military attack and Smoking Sun run on hard for Dan Excel. Dan Excel takes out the Singapore Airlines International Cup.
Smoking Fractional pour la victoire avec le Planétaire qui fait bonne contenance, avec le Fractional qui passe un joli coup de rein et qui s'impose dans la coupe de maison rapide. Smoking Sun est deuxième.
Johnny Guitar round through underneath the gold retail Boomerang Deluxe. They were followed by Fujin Bright, but Johnny Guitar races away a class above. Johnny Guitar takes the Colonial Chief by 3. Keshwar just in front, here on fire, driving through on the inside. Emperor's Banquet late, but Keshwar for Corey Brown takes the cup. Step it up, begins to descend on them, and Wild Geese out wider. Paranda, Keshwar, Wild Geese coming at the pair with Step It Up. They drive to the wire and they're queuing to Step It Up.
Quintana the inside. Quintana's fighting back. Quintana's drawing away again close to home. He's coming clear of Storm Belt and he's won.
Il porte une petite repart maintenant avec Toka sur l'extérieur et Katia aussi ensuite à la corde avec le plus fort de la vue à peut-être le protégé accompagné.
Brother in front, Slew of Load, trying to get there. He's in fact on the outside. The Slew of Load wins again. Another gem of a ride from John Powell, and Slew of Load wins by 2. Wild Geese in front. Johnny Guitar is coming out him out in the middle. Between horses, Ben Desium and Wild Geese. Stunning right in the lead by Harry Gaston, and Wild Geese takes down the QE2.
So the runners out the front now for the Singapore Airlines International Cup for 2015. Minor Frost went out early. It's already having a pre-race warm-up up towards the 1600 metre mark. And there's Dan Excel in the white and black diagonals. Tommy Berry's had so much success here in Singapore, already winning a Gold Cup with Trapeus and this race last year. Freeport Lux about to go in. Macau Barcelona came to Singapore 2 years ago, and unfortunately his horse City Star was scratched to the gate, so he'll be hoping for a nice composed Freeport Lux here in the feature race of the night. Johnny Guitar comes up to the barrier stalls, so we still wait on Minor Frost, Wild Geese and Military Attack to come forward. Walking up the gates there is Slew of Load with the white cap, being ridden here by Naresh Jaglalal. So the last few to come forward for the Cup. We're not too far off the start. They're ready. Gates are back and they're racing in the Cup. Freeport Lux was slowly into stride. Military Attack away quickly, and Dan Excel is coming across, and Tommy Berry's going to take him straight to the lead here. Dan Excel over Military Attack. Minor Frost getting a little keen, getting up on the outside of Keshwar going forward. Step It Up is ridden up on the outside. They were followed by Johnny Guitar. Smoking Sun gets a lovely spot over on the inside. Captado is up a little wider from Slew of Load. Freeport Lux and Wild Geese went back to the rear. Into the back they go, and Dan Excel shows the way as they go to the final 1,400 metres in the Cup. It's Dan Excel over Minor Frost in second. Military Attack is third over on the fence from the Gold Cup winner Keshwa. Smoking Sun's nice and handy over on the inside. Step It Up hasn't been able to get in. They were followed by Johnny Guitar, Freeport Lux, Slew of Loader. Coptato is out wider on the track and about 2 lengths away last of all Wild Geese. Down the back they go in the Singapore Airlines International Cup, and Dan Excel trying to lead throughout. It goes by the 1,000, a halfway leading over Minor Frost, travelling strongly on the outside. Military Attack in the green over on the fence from Keshwa. Smoking Sun will need a little bit of luck but travels nicely. Step It Up going up wider, followed by Johnny Guitar, Freeport Lux. Coptato out wider on the track from Wild Geese, improving around the outside of Slew of Load. Down towards the bend they come in the Cup, and Dan Excel's had a lovely run in the lead as they go by the 600 metres. Dan Excel over Minor Frost, edging closer. Keshwa goes up a little wider, followed by Military Attack, who's enjoyed a lovely run. Step It Up under Persuasion as they turn in, followed by Johnny Guitar. Smoking Sun trying to improve over on the inside, then Coptato. 300 metres to go. Dan Excel led by a half length over Minor Frost. Military Attack is pushing into the clear. Keshwa down the outside, but Dan Excel shakes them off, gets away from Military Attack, coming hard on the outside. Dan Excel, Military Attack coming at him. Dan Excel in front, he's going to go back to back. Dan Excel gets it for Tommy Berry. He looks to the heavens with brotherly love, and Dan Excel wins it over Military Attack. A gap to Keshwa, followed by Minor Frost, then Freeport Lux, Smoking Sun. Wild Geese, Step It Up had a tough run from Johnny Guitar, Coptato and Slew of Load at the rear. Dan Excel, beautiful ride by T. Berry. Had no hesitation coming across, going to the front. He stacked them up. Minor Frost looked the danger at the top of the straight, but in the home stretch, it was nowhere to be seen. And in the end, the horses that have had such a wonderful battle here over the last 3 seasons have gone 1-2. Dan Excel holding out Military Attack. Keshwa's run a great third, and dropping off was Minor Frost, 2:01.52. So a slowish time compared to last year when they broke the 2 minutes. But Dan Excel has taken it out. And Tommy Berry, what a brave performance it was to come back here 12 months ago and ride this horse in the International Cup just a couple of months after his twin Nathan sadly passed away here in Singapore. But Tommy fought back the emotions to win last year, and now goes back to back in the Singapore Airlines International Cup. 2-1, 6 and 3. Military Attack running a mighty race in second. It's a half length and 2 3/4, and these two great Hong Kong horses clearly too good for the field once again in running 1 and 2, and they just renew this magnificent battle they've had over the last 3 runnings of this particular race. Let's go downstairs where all the atmosphere is after the running of the feature race of the night.
Well, history tonight here at Kranji, and what a record he has. Dan Excel a second and a couple of wins. 2 horses who have basically dominated this race in the last 3 years, and they've run 1-2. Tremendous performance there from Military Attack. They both were travelling so well, and it turned out to be a fantastic finish, fitting of an international Group 1. So just confirming numbers on the Singapore Airlines International Cup. It's 2-1, 6 and 3, a half by 2 3/4, and they ran 2-1.52.
Down with John Moore. I interviewed you 3 years ago. This was your first in international Group 1, and I remember you were proud as punch that day. You've done pretty well since. This is 3 straight.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really amazing, and to bring this horse back after what happened down in Melbourne or Sydney and then Melbourne, and to get him back after surgery and that, it's a dream come true. And congratulations to everybody, including the team that got this horse, really in top condition. And I said to the press before the race that we thought he was in better shape than when he won. So, thanks to everybody, and God bless.
People forget that's a year off, pretty well a year off racing, that Melbourne trip. So it was just the Australian trip. So it's just an amazing effort. You must be so proud. And back-to-back wins, that's history in the making as well.
Yes, it is. And as I said, it was a team effort. Without the boys behind me, the girls, the boys and whatever, this wouldn't have happened.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Well, John Moore, what a record he's got in the race. Quite extraordinary. And it mightn't be the end of it either. I see no reason why he's not going to keep coming back and try to win this race. And we all know who he's pointing to there, Tommy Berry.
Yeah, emotional scenes, and You'll have a chat to him shortly, but what a record, what an association he's got with this horse, and he was spot on after that run 2 weeks ago when he said the horse is going to peak 2 weeks' time. He's going to get into the mix here.
During the race, I had a look at Matsuoka. It looked as though he was adjusting his grip there with the Japanese horse. They put the earmuffs on down to the start. Obviously, he's a bit of got a little bit fizzed up, and he just couldn't fire. He ran okay, but no match for Dan Excel. It's almost easy to forget that he's got a second in this race as well to go with his 2 wins.
It's incredible. What an incredible record he's got.
Well, he's got a great record. He's making this race his own at the moment. And speaking of making this race his own, Tommy Berry, he's also won a Longines Singapore Gold Cup here as well. But this year he makes it back-to-back. Congratulations, Tommy.
Yeah, no, look, it's pretty unbelievable. I can't really put it into words to describe how I'm feeling right now. It's to come back and do it for John, who's been a great supporter of mine for a few years now, and we've just had great success together. I always enjoy going back to Hong Kong and riding for him, and it's always beautiful to win Group 1 races for Nathan, and I know he's there riding with me, especially when I come to Singapore, and so it's just a great feeling. And I've got my new little son, Caden, back home with Shani. I love yous dearly, both, and I wish yous were here, but can't wait to get home and see yous.
And what about this horse, Dan Excel? He's a marvel in this race.
Yeah, well, look, I said to John after I hopped off him after the Classic Mile that I believe he's going into this race better than he was last year. And I don't know if you remember back to the Classic Mile last year, but he sat 4 wide the whole way and still toughed it out to run third. So he'd come here 2 weeks later off a very tough run where last start he had a very easy time in the lead when he was beaten by Abel Friend, and that's the best form in the world, I believe. And he was fresh. He was a real pest before the race, which is exactly how he was last year. So I was very pleased about that.
Congratulations, Tommy.
Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for having me here again. It's been a pleasure.
It's now time for the presentation after the Singapore Airlines International Cup of 2015, won by the 2014 winner Dan Excel, who goes back-to-back in our great race of the season. We are indeed very honoured to have with us this evening Mr. Teo Chi Hien, Deputy Prime Minister, Coordinating Minister for National Security and Minister for Home Affairs. On this very special occasion, we're also pleased to have Mr. Lim Joo Boon, Chairman of the Singapore Turf Club, Mr. Moses Lee, Chairman, Singapore Totaliser Board, and from Singapore Airlines, Chairman Mr. Stephen Lee, and also Chief Executive Officer Mr. Goh Chun Pong. Now it gives me great pleasure to invite Mr. Teo Chi Hien to present the trophy to the winning owner of this year's Singapore Airlines International Cup, the race won by Dan Excel. Please make welcome David Bohm. Trophy to go nicely alongside the trophy from last year. And we do love having the terrifically talented Hong Kong horses here in Singapore, and they're really dominating, and yet again 1-2 in our great race of the year. Well done to David with his horse Dan Excel. Well, the winning trainer yet again, John Moore. Well done to John, winning the race. Of course, he trained Military Attack to victory, and Dan Excel the last couple of years, and he's a great supporter of Singapore racing. It's great to have him here, and he deserves the success with his horse Dan Excel. Congratulations go to John Moore. And the winning jockey, one of our favourites, Tommy Berry. Well done to Tommy. Able to work across from gate number 10, get a relatively easy lead. He had the Japanese horse outside him, but in the home straight there was plenty to offer for Dan Excel, and he held off Military Attack. Our congratulations go to Tommy Berry. Now we'd like to invite Mr. Teo Chi Hien and all to remain on the dais for a special group photograph. Dan Excel goes back-to-back in the Singapore Airlines International Cup. Congratulations go to the horse, to the jockey, the trainer and the owner of this great horse, Dan Excel. And very shortly we'd like to invite David Bohm, the winning owner, to the champagne, which he will do in a moment to celebrate this horse, second in the race in 2013, a win in 2014 and a win in 2015, and let's not forget Military Attack, who won it in 2013, third last year and second this year, and those two horses have become a great part of this great race, the Singapore Airlines International Cup. And congratulations go to David with his horse Dan Excel. Our congratulations go to all winners.
What a remarkable performance. John Moore, 3 straight wins in the International Cup. Tom Berry going back-to-back with Dan Excel. It has been a big night for Hong Kong. It's been a great night for Singapore racing. Trust you've enjoyed our coverage of the International Races 2015. We'll see you next year. Gates are back, they're racing in the Crest Flyer away fairly quickly as Aero Velocity. Go on with it, Which Tapestry down the outside, but Aero Velocity is clear over Emperor Max, and Aero Velocity is going to take that Crest Flyer. Gates are back, and they're racing in the Cup. Freeport Lux was slowly into stride, and Dan Excel trying to lead throughout. Dan Excel in front, he's going to go back-to-back. Dan Excel gets it for Tommy Berry. He looks to the heavens with brotherly love, and Dan Excel wins it.